Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So we got some good news. The Washington football team has signed quarterback Taylor Heinicke to a 2-year extension worth up to $8.7 million. In today's video, we're going to talk about the signing, what it means for the Washington football team's quarterback search for this offseason, and what it means for Kyle Allen. If you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's first start off with the report, and this was by Ian Rapport. He said the Washington football team has agreed to terms on a 2-year extension for quarterback Taylor Heinicke, sources say worth $8.7 million. There are also incentives depending on how many games he starts, real security for a resilient QB who started and impressed in the playoff game. So good for Taylor Heinicke, because he was taking classes a few months ago and now he has signed a contract, pretty much a $9 million contract. Really good for him. 2-year deal, and that's some pretty good money for him. You know, it's a 2-year $8.75 million contract with incentives. I'm not sure if he's saying that it could be worth up to $8.7 million, or it could be worth even more with incentives. We'll see what the cap hit is. Either way, I really thought we could have got him for a little bit cheaper if we did the second round tender. And if you guys don't know what that is, you place, since he is a restricted free agent, you place a second round tender on him. And the only way another team can sign him is if they do give you a second round pick. So you would be getting a second round pick in exchange for Taylor Heinicke, and that would definitely be worth it in my opinion. But nonetheless, I'm happy he is back because he does provide a spark. You know, we'll see what happens with him, if he ends up starting or not. I don't think it'll happen that he's going to be the starter. We'll see though. Ian Rapport said Washington will likely still be in the quarterback market this offseason. That's why I don't necessarily think he's going to be the starter. John Keim also said this really doesn't mean he's going to be the starter. Probably going to be the backup, but let's say, at the very least, they're going to make a move this offseason at the quarterback position. So whether that is bringing in Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota, or it's bringing a big name in like Dak Prescott or Derek Carr, if it's one of the first names, then I think Taylor Heinicke and Kyle Allen will get a real shot of competing. Everyone's going to be competing for a starting job. But obviously, since they're still in the quarterback market, and let's say they go after someone like Derek Carr, then obviously Derek Carr is still going to start over Taylor Heinicke and Kyle Allen. But nonetheless, it's a very big deal and a good deal for Taylor Heinicke. So we'll see what ends up happening this offseason with the Washington football team quarterback position. Here is Taylor Heinicke signing the deal. I love it. Good for him. And, you know, John Keim also was talking about, you know, it is very likely that Kyle Allen is back. He's an exclusive rights free agent, and it's very extremely cheap to keep Kyle Allen. I think it's around $800,000 or $900,000. So there's almost zero chance we don't bring him back just because of how cheap he is. And if you think about it, that puts you at Kyle Allen, Taylor Heinicke on your roster. Alex Smith is still on your roster, but if you already have, usually teams carry 3 quarterbacks. So if you already have Kyle Allen and Taylor Heinicke, you know, Kyle Allen most likely going to get signed because of how cheap it is. And you know, Ian Rapport said they're still going to be in the quarterback market, whether it be in the draft, free agency, or trade. That gets you to 3 quarterbacks. So that kind of means that they really are going to probably move on from Alex Smith this year, whether it be him retiring, which isn't very likely, or it being him, us cutting him. It's still likely that Alex Smith is not on this roster. And, you know, it's a solid deal for Heinicke. And, you know, if you combine Heinicke and Kyle Allen, it's going to be at about a $5 million cap hit next year, depending on how the incentives, you know, line up. Obviously, since it's a, you know, $8.75 million deal, there's got to be some kind of signing bonus or something that lowers the cap hit a bit. So it'll make the deal look a little bit better. But still, I really think this is a good move just because Taylor Heinicke, even if he doesn't start, I know a lot of people really want him to start, but even if he doesn't start, he's a perfect backup because he knows the offensive system just like Kyle Allen. He's very mobile just like Kyle Allen as well, but he has that spark, he went up against Tom Brady and almost won against him, 8 points shy and, you're 40 yards away from tying Tom Brady, and he's also a rushing threat, had that amazing rushing touchdown. He did this with limited weapons on offense, and not only limited weapons, but Gibson was hurt, Terry McLaurin was hurt, so your best two offensive weapons were hurt, and he was still able to, have a 300-yard game, one touchdown. The one interception really wasn't his fault, and had about 50 yards rushing with a touchdown. Great story for Heinicke, and we'll see if he keeps proving people wrong, and maybe he ends up being the starter this year. I just think he's going to be a solid backup, and the biggest thing with Heinicke is every game he's played in the NFL, or almost every single game, he's come out of it with an injury, and that is concerning. Hopefully, at least if he's a backup, he can string together a few games without getting hurt, but it is a little bit encouraging that he was able to play through that shoulder injury. He's a tough guy, so hopefully that doesn't faze him much. But again, guys, I think it's a good move, and it doesn't really affect what we're going to be doing in the offseason quarterback-wise. It's some good insurance because Heinicke can play good, definitely, for a stretch, and we still don't really know what we have in Heinicke. He could end up being a lot better than we expected. We've only seen one start from him, so who knows? So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Let me know what you guys think about this move, and peace.